What's up, everybody? We're doing a nice easy cook today. We're doing a picnic roast. It's only 12 bucks at the store, $12.51. A picnic roast. It's one side of the pork shoulder, and I don't have anyone coming over today, so I don't want to do the whole pork shoulder. So I'm just going to do the picnic roast. It's a little smaller cut of meat. I've never actually done this one before, so it'll be interesting to see if it takes as long to cook, if it doesn't take quite as much time. I'm doing it today just to kind of find out, because I've always heard it's a good alternative for pulled pork. It's a good alternative to the pork butt or the pork shoulder, you know, since you don't have 3,800 sandwiches on your hands. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna get it open. We're gonna season it real quick and be right back. Okay, so when I barbecue, I typically don't use a binder. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But today I'm doing this Matt Pittman style meat church barbecue. We're using the gospel. So just, he does it. Actually, this is a little fatty right in through here. And typically I would, you know, trim this up a little bit, but we're just gonna roll with it today. Good barbecue isn't hard barbecue. Some cuts of meat are harder to cook than others. The pork shoulder is really a pretty easy cut of meat to cook. So I'm gonna slather on some mustard as a binder. This just helps the seasoning adhere to the meat. Just used a hell of a lot of mustard. That'll cook off, so don't worry. Maybe we'll keep it a little more moist. I don't know. I'll be spraying the meat today during the cook, so we'll be good there. Okay. Get some seasoning on it. Now, my complaint with a lot of people's barbecue is I feel like it's under-seasoned, so I'm never gonna under-season. This is a big piece of meat, so, and we're only seasoning the outside of it, so you're not gonna over-season this thing. I mean, if you do, I'd like to see it. That's typically my complaint with the barbecue I don't like or I'm not impressed by. It's typically I never dislike barbecue unless the meat's tough. But typically my only complaint would be maybe it's not seasoned enough. Oh yeah. Okay, I got it seasoned very well. I'm gonna give this about 15 minutes to adhere. So let some of that moisture sweat out. This has pretty high salt content, so it's gonna cause the meat to sweat and draw out some of that moisture. So here in about 15 minutes, I'm gonna come back when that moisture's a little more drawn out. You'll see this thing really sweating, and then we'll be ready to put it on the grill. We're cooking at 275 today. For how long, I don't know. We're gonna cook it till it hits about 160 internal temp, till it has a nice bark on it, and then we're gonna bring it in and wrap it. But for now, I have to go get my kid's pool moved to the deck because he's making a muddy mess in the yard. We'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. Okay, so our grill's at 275. I put a water pan on there. Today I'm using a combination of beer and apple juice, just because. It's gonna add some moisture to the grill itself, to the smoker, and hopefully keep this meat a little moist. I do plan on spritzing it a couple of times with the combination. Hey, bub. Yeah, you want to play in the pool?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So I plan on spritzing with a combination of apple juice and apple cider vinegar a couple times during the cook. But hopefully that water pan will just add some more moisture to the air. And it really doesn't matter what you put in it. I've put water in it before. But today, like beer and apple juice, what's the rhyme or the reason? There was none. I like using apple juice. And I always just feel better if I'm cooking with beer. So we're gonna get this on the grill then. This big chunk of meat. And we're just gonna cook it for, I'm gonna cook it for 3 or 4 hours and test the temp. And when it comes to about 160 or 165 and that bark's looking nice, then we'll pull it off and wrap it. And I got some exciting stuff to throw in that wrap today. Right, bud? Yeah. Okay. Hey, what's the secret to good barbecue?
Nickel.
Yeah. Do you believe in that?
No.
Okay. Okay, it's been a couple hours. We're gonna hit this big hunk of meat with a little spritz. Equal parts apple cider vinegar and apple juice. Just want to get it nice and wet. That'll be good. Here in another hour or so, we'll check the internal temp, see how close we're getting to 160. But we'll be back. Okay, so we got the meat up to 167 degrees. Looks pretty good. Cheers. Now what we're gonna do, I'm going to put some honey hog hot on it. Another meat church rub. Got a kid in bed, so I'm trying to be quiet. Be pretty liberal with this too. And whatever falls off the meat is gonna go down and the juice is gonna soak it in. So we'll pour this back over the top in our jus later. Got some good butter. Some Kerrygold. You don't have to use a really good butter. Like I've seen people use Parquet, Country Crock, use whatever you've got, but sometimes I like to splurge a little bit. And then I'm just gonna add some brown sugar. Just for a little bit of sweetness. It's gonna be nice. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna throw it back on the grill for a couple hours till it hits about 200 or until it's probe tender. We're gonna continue to cook at 275. I'm gonna throw it back on and we'll see you back here at the end of the cook. Cheers. Okay, so I got the meat up to 203. Looks good. We're gonna let it rest for about an hour It just lets those juices reabsorb, redistribute, and just makes for a little bit more of a tender bite. Got some nice juice down there in the bottom. After it's rested, I'm gonna pour that juice in the fat separator to get the fat out of it and pull this. And then I'm gonna pour the jus back over the top of it. So you do that how you want. You don't have to use the fat separator, of course. You can leave it just like that and pull it in the juice. Doesn't really matter. That's how I'm gonna do it. So after this is rested here for about an hour, I'll be back and we'll pull it. So I like kind of a coarse pull, and not just because I was the one pulling it. I mean, it does take some effort, but I don't know how well you can see that. Nice coarse pull, some big chunks of pork in there. I love it. It's time to get a bite, see how it really went. Cheers, everybody. It's fun. Thanks for cooking along today. Hanging out. I'm battling the flies over here. Great success. Thank you so much. Tune in next time. We'll be making something else, that's for sure. Cheers.